brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Kenyans, you will have to agree with me that our country today, as things stand now, there is a growing concern as to whether we are moving to the right direction or we are moving backward. This has been said, or it has been put into place by the change in political temperature and the change of political dynamics in our country. Now there is this question which keeps on lingering into the minds of so many people from across our country. The question as to whether Uhuru is committed to supporting William Ruto as his successor, or he's committed to supporting his brother Raila Odinga, with whom they had what has become a cliche in our political atmosphere: handshake deal. Now, between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, who will be Jacob and who will be Esau by the end of Uhuru's tenure? President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta could be disturbed mentally, or he's mentally disturbing someone. Uhuru is a graduate of Amherst College in the United States. He studied political science. During his studies, he must have been a very good student. And I'm very sure he must have come across Niccolo Machiavelli's book, The Prince, as well as Robert Greene's masterpiece, The 48 Laws of Power. In the former case, Machiavelli tries to elucidate how the prince ought to handle those that work with him in his court, his henchmen and errand boys, and those that are in the opposing side. In the latter case, Robert Greene and his co-author try to provide the basic tenets of handling power and how someone entrusted with leadership position like President Uhuru Kenyatta should behave to ensure smooth running of his affairs. Moreover, Uhuru must have been a very good student of political science, as I've stated earlier. But if he wasn't, then he must be surrounded by some of the top creams in that discipline. Now, let's get down to specifics. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has a deputy who has served under him for nearly a decade. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that he cherishes and believes so much in his deputy. Unlike previous regimes, subject to the 2010 Constitution, the president is elected alongside his deputy, or her deputy, so to speak, and that they are constitutionally conjoined. Secondly, the current president, the son of Mama Ngina, campaigned deciduously and crisscrossed this country, whipping the minds of his supporters to vote for him and for his deputy at the end of his tenure. This is unprecedented in the history of our politics. I have read books about our politics since independence, and mine eyes are yet to come across anywhere written that a sitting head of state has ever tried to convince people to vote for the second in command after the end of his tenure. Jomo Kenyatta didn't do that. Moi never did it, and Kibaki is not an exception. Perhaps this explains why the current deputy president may probably not be a victim of the curse which befell his counterparts in the previous regimes. On the other hand, Uhuru has brought into his court a traditional political adversary, a man he has locked horns with for decades, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. It is of course irrefutable to say that the son of Mzee Jaramogi Oginga Odinga has equally a massive following. Prior to the handshake deal, he had his supporters religiously determined to take him to State House. Given the fact that what is known about the HD is quite scanty, majority of those who support Baba have been made to think that Uhuru must have promised to back Jacob's presidential bid in 2022, which is why currently Uhuru has unwavering support from Luo Nyanza. In fact, I'm made to believe that Kisumu has virtually become another Kiambu, where Uhuru enjoys 100% support. However, this pathway leads the son of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta to a destination of impasse. The pressing questions are, if he brought in Raila Odinga, an arch rival to his government, with the intention of having less disruptions to his rule, what will he tell the latter's supporters who are waiting for him to proclaim Baba Tosha, when he knows very well that he is for Ruto's candidature? Will he break the cordial relationship the Kalenjins have had with Kikuyus since 2013 by dumping the son of the rift? In order to answer these questions satisfactorily, Uhuru might be invoking the biblical story of the two sons of Isaac, that is, Jacob and Esau. In this epic story, these twin brothers had interesting relationship. Esau, being the elder, was an automatic heir to his father's inheritance. He was a hunter, and so he went out to the field to look for the game meat. His father loved him so much for this and promised him his inheritance before his death point. He is also captured in the story as a selfish being who was ignorant of what his birthright meant to him and to his generation. Jacob spent most of his time with the mother at home. He is described in the story as a humble man of God, a pious being, so to speak. The father didn't like him, of course. The mother did like him very much. When that defining hour to pass blessings to Esau had beckoned, Esau had gone out to look for the game for his old and poorly sighted father. The mother advised Jacob to use that moment to receive the blessings from the father by pretending to be Esau. And that is how Jacob rose to greatness, by being the great-grandfather of Jesus Christ. This could be the only chapter of Genesis, and perhaps in the whole Bible, which President Uhuru Kenyatta reads every time he wakes up at his position of hideout. We all know the niches of the son of Sugoi and the son of Bondo since the advent of handshake. In 2021, or maybe in early 2022, Kenyans will surely know between Raila and Ruto who is Esau and who is Jacob in this context. And that is the rawness of facts. Thank you, and may God bless you. Owiti Owayo.